Attention. The following program contains explicit language, addiction, and grief. Listener discretion is advised. Now, please enjoy your independent media session.
How was the weekend?
Fine. You got any ibuprofen? My forearms are killing me. I went to a rage room. You know, where you break a bunch of shit with your friends?
That makes sense. Here.
Thanks.
Did it help?
I literally just took it.
No, the rage room thing. You seemed really out of it leaving on Saturday. Normally you've got your rest and friendly face up.
I'm fine.
Evans isn't in yet. You know we're a team, right?
We barely know each other.
No. You don't ever talk about yourself, so I barely know you. You know all about me. Father of 3, recovering alcoholic, collects unicorn figures.
Yup. That's you in a nutshell. I took this job because my mother had just died, and the Morpheus cradle would have really helped her. Now it turns out it was never about helping people like my mom. It was about space capitalism.
God, I hope that doesn't become the technical term.
I lost my job while taking care of my mom and burned some important bridges, but it wasn't anything I couldn't have recovered from eventually. I just really needed closure, and I thought this was the way to get it.
You feel duped. I understand. If my wife left with the kids again after all I've done at this point to put things back together, I'd feel the same way.
Forever seems so short when I signed up here. I felt like there wasn't anything after grief, so I didn't need to plan ahead. Now I'm here, and I've nothing to show for it.
This might not seem helpful, but maybe what you're looking for isn't something you can find in your work. Your mom didn't die because of something you did or didn't do. It isn't your fault, and it's going to take you a while to come to terms with that. I know you're close with your roommate, but if you ever need to talk to someone that's signed the same NDA, I'm here.
Thanks. Thanks, Lyle. Should we hug or something?
What? No, gross. You can get me a coffee, though.
Black?
Unless you can get it darker.
Good morning. I trust you had a restful weekend.
It was great. Thanks for asking, sir. How was yours?
Fine. Now, Frank will be here in a few hours. He's moving into his on-site housing, then I'll collect him and walk him through our part of the facility. I'll introduce him to staff, then he'll be getting his psych eval. Diana, I'll be sharing the results with you, so we can begin building a psych profile in the system as soon as possible.
Of course.
As a rule for both of you, tell him only things he absolutely needs to know about the program and about yourselves. Absolutely no fraternizing of any kind will be tolerated. You'll be given a brief before each session with him. Stick to it. I'll be in my office. Don't disturb me. If you need something, wait or send me a message.
Coffee?
Yup.
Mr. Diaz, I'd like you to meet Diana Ng and Lyle Ladeau. They will be training you on the cradle, as well as looking after you while in the simulation.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to meet you both.
At the end of the week, you'll be meeting with Miss Ng after we get the results of your psych eval later today.
Oh, I didn't realize. Should I be worried?
Not at all. It will just give us a better sense of who you are and how we can best work with you. You don't need to worry.
I'll show you to your workstation, Mr. Diaz.
That was uncharacteristically friendly of you, Di.
He seems nice.
I wonder where they found him.
Who knows? I just feel bad that he has to spend time with that creepy therapist they brought in.
Have you met him?
Briefly, he was in Evan's office earlier. Gave me a sex offender vibe.
Rude.
Meet him first, tell me if I'm wrong. Are you free now?
Yes, please, come in.
Nice office. I'm jealous. You get a window and everything.
Yeah, I like it. I'll definitely be able to focus. But it's a big change from the open floor plan offices that I'm used to.
What did you do before this?
Sales. I worked for an e-commerce company and just called businesses to sign up.
That sounds interesting.
It was super boring. But the people were fantastic. Everyone had a silent agreement that the job sucked, so we all just tried to make the best out of it. I got paid to play video games every day, basically.
I'm jealous. Should we begin?
You got it, Doc.
Oh, I'm not a doctor.
Professor?
Nope.
Oh, okay. I got it. Captain Science.
Diana works just fine, but I'm open to workshopping Captain Science. So, what we'll be doing together over the next few months is getting you prepped for the time-lapse simulation. I'm going to be teaching you about the mechanics of the simulation, how it all works with your brain, and what we need to do to maintain it.
That's not intimidating at all.
Think of it like scuba diving. We have to teach you how to do it in order to be able to pull it off safely. If you woke up and found yourself suddenly in the middle of the ocean, strapped to some scuba gear, you'd panic. Luckily, you don't actually know what it's like to be in space, so we can fabricate a lot of the senses that you're going to feel. But we have to crash test everything to make sure the environment is as realistic as possible so we can collect the right data.
Okay, let's get started.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how brain dead are you right now?
Ever see that movie Starship Troopers?
Yeah, actually.
The douchebag pilot gets his brain sucked by the queen bug.
I think we're done for the day. I'll send over the notes for you to read by Monday.
Thanks, Captain Science.
You're welcome. Have a good weekend.
How was it?
He's definitely average, but he's nice. I just don't understand how he could end up here.
Ugh, don't ask. You know how the test subjects are. Once we're done with them, the company ships them off elsewhere. Besides, Evans doesn't want us getting too familiar. You have your own problems. Speaking of,
What?
I've been doing more tests. I can't tell for certain, but we can only cause time to go so fast in the simulation without causing damage to the brain.
How fast can it safely run right now?
He'd have to be in there for 5 years in real life, and I can already tell you that won't work for Evans and whatever faceless monsters he answers to.
Is that assuming he goes into the environment for the first time?
It's based on the data we have right now, yeah.
So, the more we can build and get him familiar with, the lighter the load on the brain.
I can only speculate at this point, but yeah, it would stand to reason that the more familiar he is with the conditions of the sim and with the directive, yeah, the easier this will be.
I'm not sure how we're going to make it feel familiar enough and foreign at the same time. Unless it doesn't have to feel foreign at all.
What do you mean?
We're already building him a new behavioral profile to make him an ideal candidate while he's in there, right? So why not just go a step further? We can justify all of this if he thinks he's one of us. That he worked on the project and that he's volunteering to do this. Build memories to back up everything. That way, we can get him as familiar with the process as possible and still allow his mind to believe that what's happening is real.
Couldn't hurt to bring it up to Evans. I'll keep working on this and we'll see if we can get the sim time to under a year without melting his brain.
Have a good weekend.
Die. Die. Die.
Huh? Sorry.
What's going on? Something happened at work?
There's this new guy. He's nice, but mysterious, I guess. I just keep wondering how he ended up here.
Why don't you ask?
I'm not really supposed to go into personal stuff at work.
Some, like, fraternizing clause?
Sorta, sure. Anyway, he's more of a freelancer, so he won't be around for long. My coworker thinks I should just stay away.
I don't know. What's the harm of getting to know someone worth knowing? Worst case scenario is that he's boring and you never have to see him again.
Maybe. How's work?
Worky. I'm actually starting to look into some spaces to rent. Art my production and storage, have a place to meet buyers. You know, I'm going to be looking to bring on someone soon.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I could really use someone that's a badass science type with a wry sense of humor. Do you know any?
In this economy, I don't think you can afford it.
Come on. You haven't been happy at your job. This could be a change for the better.
You know I can't, Kara. I would if I could.
I could talk to my parents. Send me a copy of your contract and maybe there's a loophole. Hell, they'd probably buy you out of it if it's possible.
It's not that kind of contract. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Just means I'll probably end up hiring some dude with a man bun and ironic tattoos.
That sounds like something you'd like.
I know. But I'm trying to make you jealous. You know, New Year's is just around the corner.
I'm down to do whatever.
Good to know. But that's not what I'm getting at. Without sounding like a drug ad, I'm concerned about your health. You drink those shit drinks to stay awake, and then that sludge to go to bed. It's not good for you, and selfishly, I want you around for a while. How about resolution? We switch to reasonable amounts of coffee during the day and melatonin at night. Did you know they make them into little fruity gummies?
I feel like that would just train you to fall asleep when you taste that flavor, though.
It does. One lick of anything blackberry and I'm out. Can you do that for me? Please? I hate seeing you like this, but I'd hate not seeing you more.
I've made you worry about me. I'll give it a try. I promise. I'm sorry.
If you apologize again, I'll slap you in your stupid pretty face. You're family, and I'm always going to be here.
I'm not trying yoga, though.
I know we're hilarious, but let's just put the jokes aside for a minute. You work yourself to the bone, you're miserable, and most days I can't tell if you're trying to survive or kill yourself. Burying your problems in your work hasn't made this better. Maybe let's find something that will?
Look, you're right.
Okay. Go on.
You've been patient with me and have stuck around longer than anyone really should. I'll start on the health stuff, but it's going to be a process.
I'm not going anywhere. And not just because the house is in my name.
God damn it.
Directive is written by David Magadan, featuring Gala Locke, Kevin O'Keefe, Ruth Mestel, Ray Stafford, and David Magadan. Music composed by Matt Farthing. Transcripts are available in the show notes. If you have enjoyed this independent media session, please consider donating to patreon.com/directivepod or tell a friend. Thank you, and remember, the directive is not adoptive.